Hey folks, this week's video was going to be a CB550 video. Unfortunately, I didn't get enough done on the CB550 to make a whole video. And this is because I had to go get this Mustang from the New York. So I pissed away last weekend. And what else did I do? Yeah, I bought another dirt bike. And all my bodybuilding training. And I'm going to the Netherlands. So I've been getting things ready to go to the Netherlands for a week. So I don't have a CB550 video for you, but I do have a KDX80 video, a junky KDX80 that I fixed up and made rideable again. So you can watch that, I guess, if you like to. So yeah. Well, I thought I would do something a little different, not all that different. This is another KDX80. I bought more. I bought this one over here, which is green. And this one runs. The forks are ruined. You can see that. And it needs to be all gone through, but whatever. This one, so that one runs, it runs okay. It doesn't go to full throttle. This one does not run. And I'm curious if I can get it to run real quick. So I bought a couple of parts for it. So it's got throttle assembly is no good. The kill switch is missing. It's got some kind of different motorcycle that had turn signals perch on it, so that's no good. Clutch cable is wrong. Somebody put a bolt through the cylinder. That sucks. I don't know if it's broken. It doesn't look like it's broken. It's missing this. I have one of those. I have to find some oil. There's a bolt that goes here. I'll probably just steal the one off the other bike. So I'm wondering if I can get this one to run real quick. Yeah, so that's on there. I don't know if the fuel line's any good. Why don't I do a compression check before I do anything else? Yeah, the spark plug is not looking too nice. Pretty rusty. So it's kind of blackish, but it doesn't look that bad. Well, it doesn't feel like it has much compression. It's built up to 130-ish, 140. Yeah, that should be fine. It's building up. Okay. So that's okay. So let's see if it has spark. Okay. So you can see it. It's right here. Oh, yep, it's got spark. Okay. Let me pull the carburetor off of it, and I mean, since it's right here, I'll just pull it off and check and see what it looks like inside. got some kind of fluid in it. Some real oily looking gas, probably.
Looks like water.
Just the way that this is running, looks like it's water. Somebody put nice new float bolt screws in it though. Yeah, it's got some like dirt in here. I don't know if it's dirt or what it is. I don't know if you can see in there. Alright, so looks like I'll clean the carb. Six millimeter. So this is the pitot tube. Gotta make sure these little holes are open. That's probably a 10. And what else? Should I take the choke thingy out of it? Why not? Is it 12? Yep. Okay. All right. Idle jet. Right. Somebody's got the idle. Somebody had the idle all the way in. Just take that out. Clean it up. All right. What now? Find a toothbrush. Alright, so those little holes I was worried about, those are clear. So those are good. How about the pilot jet? Alright, so pilot jet is clear. That's all we really care about. Is the stuff clear? Okay, that's good. That's good. Hope the gasket is usable. What else? What else? The main is clear. Alright, the body is kind of a mess. Looks like a lot of the debris in here is the gasket. The float ball gasket. Looks like it just deteriorated and fell apart. So I think I have a stash of these gaskets upstairs. So why don't I... Alright, so why don't I go see if I can find one of those gaskets, and then I'll take the air and blow this thing off and put it back together. Well, let's carry on with this KDX80. I found this bag that I was looking for that has a bunch of parts in it. And I ordered a whole bunch of these float ball gaskets. So this float ball gasket's just kind of like falling apart, and it was all over the inside of this. See, that doesn't look too good. Inside of this float ball, and that doesn't look very good. What am I going to do? Alright, I'll have to try and clean that better. And I need to blow this out. Alright, well, I cleaned that up a little bit better with some WD-40 and this fine wire thing. It looks better. That white film, I know that's from the ethanol. Okay, so let's put this together. I'm putting this together and I'm thinking to myself, I have so many projects to do. Why am I wasting my time on this? I already have 2 KDX80s in the shed. They work just fine. I don't know. Why not? Oh, it is a beautiful day out, actually. It's like almost 60 degrees, like 55 degrees. I got the XL600 out. I've driven that a little bit. Another KDX80 out there. And I cleaned up the shop a little bit. Oh, people were wondering about what was under that giant cardboard box. That's the crate engine for the Mustang. And I'll have an update on that. And I consolidated 2 shelves into one, and I opened up this area. Having the shelf right in the center there, that was kind of a pain in the neck whenever you put something up on the lift. Anyway. So that's the pilot jet. And then probably put this one in. And is there a gasket for that? Well, if there is a gasket for it, it doesn't exist here anymore, so we will just not worry about that. Okay, and then this is the pitot tube, I think. Okay. Main jet. And there must be a tiny, there it is. Tiny little 7 mil. Oh, it's not 7 mil, it's 6. So okay. Don't want to over tighten anything. Alright, and now float. Okay. Float is in there, and I think that's everything that goes in here. So, gasket. People have got their motorcycles out, I can hear. I think this one on the bottom, actually. All right. Okay, so the idle thingy. All right. So I got that. Now, what am I going to do about this? So I have a throttle set up here from one of the other many KDX80s that I have, and this seems to have the proper spring on it. This is a much weaker spring. Should I just go ahead and use this whole thing? Because the other one, the one that's on there is all messed up. Talking about this. So this looks like it probably was an original, but it's mangled here. And it's got a broken off bolt. Seems to have the wrong front brake cable. Oh, it's got the wrong handle thing on it. That's right, the handles are wrong. Oh, this is a mess. Okay, so hello. What should I do? I bought this generic one. What did I buy here? I got some cables. Okay, I bought a throttle cable and a front brake cable and a clutch cable. And a kill switch, because the kill switch is destroyed on this. Okay. Yeah, here it is. There's the generic, what else did I buy? I bought levers, and there's more levers, and there's more levers. Okay. And this is brake hardware, rear brake hardware. What am I doing with all this crap? Alright, so, oh, that's the oil plug. The oil plug is missing. So I got one of those. And here is, oh, what is it? What's that? Another oil plug. Okay, I bought multiple oil plugs. And I bought this, which is, yeah, this is for the generic throttle cable thingy. So, I mean, technically I could use this cable. No, this thing, is that ruined? What is that? RTV? Some kind of goop on here. Yeah, somebody RTV'd this. I think I can use the generic thing. And is this spring gonna work? Let me see if I can get this generic spring, generic setup to work. I didn't really want to rob. So I have this one from a different bike. I don't really want to rob it because some century from now I might actually put the other bike together. So I'll go play with this and see if I can get it to work. Well, it looks like it works. This is the generic throttle cable. I just hope it's long enough. And the generic, setup. But you can see it does go all the way down. You see? All the way up, all the way down. The return spring in here is not the original one. And it also had this spring in there. This is too big to go in there. It doesn't compress enough. So maybe I can get another spring, or maybe I probably have one from one of the other carburetors, who knows. But I think I have a solution for that. Let's see. This is the throttle cable that I bought for it, which is an OEM kind of one. And it looks like it's about the same size, so that should be good. Alright, so I think I got that covered. So I think now I'll just go ahead and put the carburetor on the bike, and let's see if it starts up. I'm not sure what's in the gas tank. It looks like it's kind of clean. Unfortunately, someone has house paint all over this. Yeah, okay, I don't know what that was. Slime? I gotta clean the gas tank out. Yeah, so this isn't looking too good here for this, for where the throttle assembly goes. Alright, so I've routed the throttle cable. Stick that in there. Alright. What should I do? Just dribble some gas in it? Or should I just put it together? Since I have the gas tank off, I want to route, should I put a tie on that, on this cable, and I want to put the new clutch cable in. That means I have to change this thing here and this grip. And before I do all that, should I just kind of see if it runs? Yes, I should do that. Move this over a little bit. Okay. How much one of it? The clutch is locked up. Seems like it is. Yep. So the clutch appears to be locked up, or it's not going up enough. Or it just doesn't have any oil in it. Well, that was stupid. There's no kill switch. There's no kill switch. The clutch doesn't work. It's in gear. I can't get it to stop. And I couldn't keep my hand from revving it. So I'm trying to find a place to like stick it next to. And the only place I could find was to run into the vapor blaster. Well, it seems to run. The clutch is locked. And so I'll have to free up the clutch. There's no, and again, there's no brakes. So I went to put the front brake on, didn't work. Rear brake, of course, doesn't work because it's disconnected here. So it needs all kinds of work, but it does run. I guess that's all I really wanted to do. Let's see if I can get it to run. And I did. Okay, so I got other things to do. So, how much do I want to play around with this thing? Do I want to take the clutch cover off? Do I want to fix the brake? Do I feel like putting a new clutch in it? Do I want to do that? Should put a kill switch on it. That might that would help. All right, so let's do some more work on this. The clutch lever is off of some street bike, so it doesn't belong on here. And so let's get rid of that. The front brake thingy is wrong or broken or whatever, so I have a cable and a lever for that. So let's go ahead and swap that stuff out. Okay. So this is totally the wrong cable, it looks like. I hate to throw out cables if they're really good. But then again, who cares? Because like you can buy a cable for $10. Alright, so what does it matter? Okay, so let's throw that away. The clutch. Alright, take that off of there. Not even keep this. Just throw this right in the trash. Or should I keep it? Might as well keep it, you know, if I need something. You end up keeping all these junk parts and they just hang around and hang around. You never do anything with them. I'm going to take a minute and try to peel this tape off. It's annoying me. Alright, so I was checking out the front brake, and the front brake seems to be kind of toast. And it feels like it goes all the way up. So it's probably worn out. So I'm going to throw some parts at it. I have shoes, I have all this stuff. I tightened up the front fender bolts, and it hits. So this is either the wrong fender or there's something wrong. So there's another one over here. People love painting these things. That one doesn't seem to hit, and it's got that long piece in the back. So I wonder if this will do any better. I'm not sure. I don't know if the fender's bent or if it's just the wrong fender. Could just be the wrong fender. So I'm going to take the front wheel off and check the front brake pads. Let's see. There's quite a bit of pad there. Wheel bearings are okay. I mean, it looks like there's a good amount of pad to me. Where's the new ones? Yeah, there's plenty of pad, so there's nothing wrong with the pad. Okay, I'll just put it back together. Right. So I'm just fiddling with this adjuster down here. That's probably good right there. So you adjust it down here, and you adjust it up the handle control lever. Okay. Alright, so that's good. Okay, what's next? So, the big thing is the clutch. Okay, so let's take the clutch cable off. Get rid of this thing. That's going to take 3 years to get out of there. Okay. Yeah, so unfortunately, they drilled a hole in this thing. Oh, and it's also broken off. Maybe that's why they did it. I see. Okay. Well, that sucks because it's part of the cylinder. Alright. Take that off of there. Put that over there. Is there any reason to try and get it to work without taking it apart? I don't think so. I don't think I can, so there's no reason to bother playing with the rear brake until I take this off. I have to take this off anyway. So, okay. So how about this, the kill switch. Let's get rid of that. Let's deal with that, okay? Alright, well after a bunch of messing with it, I got this other front fender to fit on there and it doesn't hit, so that's good. Alright, so the back brake needs to be addressed, but I'm going to leave that until after I deal with the clutch. So now I'm going to take the clutch cover off. Alright, so this brake hardware has to come off. This is a mangled Phillips head. Let's see if I can get it off. Yes. Alright. So that's off. And this is off. Okay. Alright, so what do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Phillips heads. smells like gas. Yeah. I don't know if that's gas or what. There wasn't any oil in it. All right. Okay. Go there. Let's see now. How do I have to take this off? Come on. This spring has to come off of here, I think. And it must be, oh, wait a minute. May I take this, I take that white thing out? Yeah, that white thing has to come off first. That's what it is. This white plastic thing has to come out of here somehow. Why don't you go ahead and just come on out of there. Couldn't you just come on out of there? There it is. Come on. Ugh. All right. There it is. Okay. You do not want to come off of there, do you? Fucking kidding me? I don't remember that being such a pain in the ass. And maybe I don't have to take any more off it off. Okay. So can I take off the clutch without, you know, if the clutch doesn't look that bad. I mean, it doesn't look all rusty. Let me try taking those little bolts out. I just did one of these a couple minutes ago. I can't remember if I had to take that main bolt out in order to take the clutch plates out. You wouldn't think so. How about it? No, you gotta take it out. Right. Okay, of course I have no surfaces to work on. It's getting late, I'm getting frustrated. Alright, let's see what we got here. Okay, that looks good. Let's see. Yeah, there's the rust. Okay. The clutch itself actually doesn't look that bad. We'll get it apart. So I don't know. Is it worth saving this? Should I try to save it? Is it just going to be junk? I could save the steel plates. These clutches are like $20. Why would I bother doing that? At least the fiber plates are. Alright, so I'll put a new clutch in it. Clean that up a little bit. Alright. So, let's see. This goes there. And it goes like that, alright? It's the wrong ones. These don't go to the spike. Alright, so let's put this clutch together. I guess it is all the way down. Alright. That is turning the back tire. How did I do this last time? So this is turning the inside. How do I stop it from turning? I bet there's a special tool that goes through here. Alright, well I've got a hammer stuck between the spokes of the swing arm. I'm sure that's not how you're supposed to do it. I bet there's a tool. I probably even bought the tool. So that's 32. I think it's supposed to go to 47. 32 foot-pounds. Here's 38. 40. 42. 44. 46. Alright, I'm gonna leave it there. .82 inch-pounds. This is 70. Alright. So this is the pusher. And then we got the kickstart spring. Ow! Put a little bit of sealer on the bottom edge to be safe. There was some there previously. Right. Okay, so that's that. Put the drain plug back in. This is the Kickstarter that was on it for some totally different bike. This is the one that belongs on it. It's a short one. There's a hammer in this box. Kill switch works. Okay. Now, back brake. See if we can get the clutch cable on. So the problem, as you can see, is this piece is supposed to have a hole in it and it's broken off at the bottom. That's why they put that weird screw on there. And I don't know how this is going to work. I'm going to try to cut open a couple of washers and slip them around that cable. I might have to do it just like that. Get this thing over here. And now this doesn't fit because I have the washers in there. I'll leave this out, see if it'll just work. I'm sure it won't. Alright, so what's next? I had bought a bunch of these angled air filters. Let's see if it'll fit. Yep. Enough. Yeah, and the rear brakes are all worn out. They usually are. Okay. Yeah, so this wheel bearing's no good. This one's no good. And there's quite a bit of rust buildup in there, so I'll clean that out. Gee, that worked really well. That doesn't work at all. Now it's less covered with rust. A little less, maybe. Clean up the wheel while I'm in here. Okay, so should I show doing the wheel bearings? I've showed that like 5 million times. Alright, let's put some new brake shoes on here. I don't know how well it's going to come out on the camera, but yeah. There's very little left. I don't know. It's kind of hard to show it. Good. Alright, so this is missing a roller. So I'm robbing parts from other project bikes for some reason for this one. This. And the bottom part is this piece of rubber, and it's got two little dowels in it. The dowels come together and it spins on there. These parts are new, as you can tell. This goes in here. Alright, so this is the brake pedal that was on it. The little guard thing was there. The spring was missing. I stole the spring from another one, and these little, whatever they called, I just call them a dowel. And this bolt was missing. So the pedal pivots on these dowels. That. Bolt goes through this. So this needs to stop, and I got to get this spring to attach. Come on. Okay, so got front and rear brakes, got a kill switch, got a clutch. What's next? So this is the seat that was on it. Someone took self-tapping screws and ruined the threads, I'm sure, that were in it. Got a crappy cover on it, it's got holes, and the fender has paint on it. So I have a new seat over there. New seat cover, anyway. And I have this rear fender. So I'll put those together, and then I have these side covers I bought for a different bike, but I'll just use them on this one. And I have this nicer looking gas tank, and I also have this thing, which is cracked and has some RTV in it, but I'm not going to worry about that. I think I can stick that sucker there, and I'll have a chain guard. So that'll be good. So, a little more work. Okay, so we have a better looking KDX80 with brakes and a kill switch and a clutch. And it did run. I didn't get to drive it very far, but it did run. And it's getting late. It's 6 o'clock, but maybe I can go for a quick ride. It was raining out earlier. It looks pretty good now. So the coast is clear. I am going to go. Thing runs pretty good. Got all the power it seems to should have. The back brake is not working right because this thing, the arm is not set correctly. So when I step on the brake all the way, the arm runs into the hub right here. So that has to, the wheel has to come off, and I have to take that off and put it back on. But otherwise, yeah, it's working. Cool. All right. Turn that fuel off. Good. Well, what did I pay for that one? I think I paid $400 for that one. Probably used, you know, put on all different plastics on it. I scavenged some parts from the other ones. I have another one, of course, over there, but I have to get back to the SL125, and I got a lot of projects. I got to do something with this. Anyway, all right. So back on this KDX80, I thought I was done, but I took it for, so it sat here for a week. It didn't leak any oil. I took it for a drive, and I came back and let it sit for a day, and then there was oil, some oil under it, and the chain was all wet with oil, and I think I chased it down to this seal. It's no good. It's possible the gear shifter seal is going to be no good because somebody welded the shifter onto the shift shaft. This is quite common for these. The shift shaft strips out, and instead of replacing the shift shaft, somebody gets a welder out and welds it on there. So now it's permanent. So hopefully it's not the shift seal. There's oil all over this, and this seal is junk. So I ordered a seal and got a seal, and there's also a little O-ring that goes in there. I think that's on there. So then there's an O-ring that goes in, and it pushes against the, so it wraps around the output shaft, and it pushes up against this spacer, and there's no oil pressure in here. It's just oil flying all over the place, being flung. So there's not a lot of pressure. It just keeps it from weeping, weeping out. Probably should have put this on before the seal. Come on. Right. A little grease on the outside of that. Okay. Alright. Alright, so then the sprocket looks not fantastic, but good enough. And then there's this locking ring. There we go. I think it's on there. Alright, now, I was messing around with this. I noticed that the wheel doesn't seem to spin that well, but is it just the back brake dragging? Ah, it's just the back brake. A little overly adjusted, I guess. Okay, that's good. Just put that back on there. All right, and back. Readjust that. A little notch right here. So, I don't know if you can see it, but that's like the second notch. And I can't see it over there. That's on the second notch, okay. Don't want these too tight. Okay, I think that's good. Well, thank you for watching the KDX80 video. I don't know how well I explained it in the video. That was about a month and a half ago or maybe 2 months ago. But when I first got the bike running, the clutch was locked because of they'd been sitting for a long time, so the clutches would get locked. So if you put it in gear, you can't get it out of gear. And the clutch doesn't work, right? On top of that, it had the wrong carburetor throttle return spring. The return spring was very, very light, so if you touched the throttle at all, it would go wham, wham. Item 3, no kill switch, so there's no way to shut the engine off by pressing the button that is supposed to be on there because somebody took the kill switch off it. And number 4, no brakes. The rear brake was disconnected, the front brake was not working. So I got the bike started and I rolled it forward and put it in gear. And when you can just kind of power shift it. So I drove around a little bit. There's a part where I start it up and then I go away. And then the next thing you see is me coming past the camera and I go into the garage. Well, that's me, like I come down the driveway and I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I can't stop. I can't put the clutch in. I can't shut the engine off. How am I going to stop? So I'm trying to figure that out. And I'm touching the accident, bumping a little bit, touching the throttle. Every time I touch the throttle, it goes wah, and it speeds up. And I'm trying to get it to slow down. And so sure enough, I come into the garage and just run up against my vapor blaster machine, and that stalled the engine out. So you could kind of hear me running into the buckets that are in front of the vapor blaster, and then me cracking up because I'm like, what was I thinking? But anyway, that's another KDX80 that's saved. Why am I doing all these KDX80s? What I want to do is go to that mini bike fest in September, the one I went to last year, and bring a whole bunch of running, driving KDX80s so that people that are coming by can just take one and go putt around. It's a lot of fun to just ride a 40-year-old dirt bike, have it all be functional, and just let people ride them, because that's kind of the fun of it, is if they get to go there and actually ride an old dirt bike. It's kind of neat. So that's what I'm doing with those. So I'll be in the Netherlands for 2 weekends, so I'm not going to do any bike work on my stuff anyway. And then I come back, and then I'm going to get right back on. Am I going to get right back on the CB550? I have to get the Z1R running. So I'll either take the get the Z1R out here. It's finally some nice weather, but although it rains constantly. I also have to do some work on this. But I think it's either going to be the Z1R, getting that finally roadworthy, or finishing up the CB550. Not too much left to do on the CB550. All right, well, thank you for watching and listening to me blather on. Have a good day. Bye.